double check everything. Yes, we're here. So exciting to see everyone. I'm just going to close this off my Facebook. Aloha. Hi, Jenna. Hi, everyone. Paula, so nice to see everyone here. I'm just going to give everyone a second to like click in and check in. It's such a blessing to be here with so many amazing people. Every day I was just pinching myself going, oh my God, look at all these amazing people, people that I've known for years, people that I've known recently or met at epic events like A-Fest. Hey, good morning, wherever you are, evening in New Zealand. It's super lovely to... Now, I'm sort of doing Zoom and I'm doing Facebook Live. And the reason why I do that is because I'm a classic screen sharer. And I like to be able to do multiple things. And I'm highly visual, which is why I'm doing this whole thing, right? Highly visual. So super lovely to see so many people here. Hi, Rachel. Hi, Deborah. So nice to see you. Hi from Scotland. Oh, my goodness. It's late for you guys. Oh, no, it's not. You're okay still. It's my American friends that are late for it. It's so nice to see so many epic people here. And I've been slowly going through all your forms. If you haven't submitted your branding form, it's not an essential item, but please go ahead and do that because I want to make sure that this whole time is like super valuable for you. And then I'm here to answer your questions in the best way that I possibly can. Oh, welcome, Wendy, to a live. Look at you go. Go the technology queen, right? It's been a long time since I've seen you. So super nice to see you. Hi, Katie. Hi, Julie. Oh my goodness. Hi, Susie. Really long time since I've seen you, right? If you can drop down in the, no, you can stay here on the, you can stay here in the Facebook feed. I'm doing my very best to see both. So if you're pinging questions in the feed, I can definitely see you guys. If you see me looking down, it's because I'm checking the comments on my phone as well, right? So I'm not being rude and decided to text my best friend over in South Carolina. I'm just making sure that I answer all your questions. Thanks, Angela. Oh, perfect. 8 a.m. Monday morning and we're off and running, right? So perfect, perfect. So nice to see so many people. Tweed, you were like neighbors. I'm in Palm Beach at the moment, right? Hey, Jenny, so nice to see you. Hey, Miss Nona, so nice to see everyone here. Right, I feel like a celebrity, right? Hi to all my friends out there. But really, I just want you to know that I see you, right? And I've been going through all of your what do you want to get out of this thing, right? Because it's one thing for me to say, hey, I'm going to do this thing, but it's another thing for it to be meaningful to you. So some really cool comments around, you know, wanting to get your schedule up and running. Yes, we can totally do that. That's the whole intention. Wanting to be able to set up posts. Yeah, 100%. That's what this is all about. Being able to understand your followers, understand social media. Yep, this whole thing is all about answering those questions for you. Knowing who your audience is, yes, we want to know who your audience is because otherwise we can't speak directly to them. So engaging content, yeah, because content without engagement is just stuff. And like, really, the world has enough stuff. We don't need any more stuff, right? So important. I love this. Brad said that he wanted to have something that he was proud of. Totally. There's no point in putting messaging out there unless it feels right. And there's so much cookie cutter marketing out there in the world that no one wants to put stuff out that's not true and not real. And you know what? People are smart. They can see that. They know what that is. They can feel and sense the authenticity. And so it's important that you put out content that you're proud of and the real stuff, not the stuff that you think you should do because some fancy marketer told you to do that, right? Because that just doesn't feel congruent at all. That's not what this is about. You know, people are smart. What else did you want to do? Share your passion, Dexter. Yes, you totally need to share your passion. Now, a little bit of an insight. Now, Beck and I, I'm not going to tell you how many years ago, but a long time ago, we worked in London together and Beck taught me to cook. Who knew, right? I love that, having social media that's authentic and being up to date. Totally, right? Like I'm not like some hipster, young, like millennial person. I'm figuring out as we go, but knowledge is only great when it's shared, right? If you keep it to yourself, then what's that all about? So this whole course is about giving you what I know, and I don't think I know everything. In fact, if you want perfect, you're not in the right place. I've said it a few times, but I want you to be sure that showing up and being perfectly you is actually more than enough. And you know, I don't do hair and makeup. I'm seriously in my active wear. I do have fluffy socks on because it's cold, and it's just about being you, because when you are authentic in your space, it will connect with the right person. And I wholeheartedly believe that we have an abundant world, and there's someone that needs to hear your message, and you guys are here, and some of this will land for you, and I'm here for you, right? And some people think, oh my God, she's a basket case. And that's okay too, right? Because whatever the perception is, this is all coming from my perception, right? Everything that I'm sharing you is my experience. And so you need to make it your own. Take what I say and apply it, right? Evaluate it. Does this feel good? Does this feel bad? Does this feel right for me? If it feels right, great, right? And if you're like, hey, yeah, I get that, but I'm going to do this other thing, cool. Information gives you the opportunity to make that decision. So today I wanted to talk a little bit about preparation, right? Because I think I use the analogy, I quite often go, oh yeah, I'm going to make this epic dish, and I'm going to get all the ingredients, and I get home and I realize I don't have a blender, or I don't have the right thing. And so I don't want to be giving you all these things to do, and then for you to get to a place and realize that you don't have the tools to be able to implement. This course is an implementation course. It's not about me giving you stuff for you then to have to try and apply at the end. You need to apply on the fly. They're the rules. The opportunity exists to tap into myself and my team are on the calls as well, and my team are in the group. There's an opportunity to tap into us and to use us to support you as much as you can, right? So apply on the fly, and be willing to try, right? Just be willing to try. Someone is waiting for you and your message exactly as it is now. That's what we're here to do. So there's a couple of things. Hopefully everyone's seen the day one email that's come through. I notice not everyone has opened it, and that could just be a time zone thing. So I'm going to share my screen. You need to have some sort of storage space. So someone asked me today, can they use Microsoft 360? Yes. Can I use Dropbox? Yes. Whatever you usually would use to store your files and your documents, preferably an online portal, right? So if you use your hard drive, as long as it's linked to the interwebs, that can be super cool. So I tend to use Google Drive more often than not. I find it very easy to share. I find it very easy to put things into that folder as I'm seeing them. I don't have to download and upload, which I find like really boring, and I get impatient with it, and who needs that? So I use Google Drive, but it doesn't mean you have to use Google Drive. I've given you some instructions for setting that up, but what I want you to do is create 3 folders. I'm going to share with you just an example of a Google Drive folder for one of my clients. In fact, Erica, if you're here, this is Cutty's Drive, right? So what I want you to do is start to create like a social media content folder. And in here, what we'll do is we'll create a folder. Let's create a folder for May, where you'll pop captions. You'll create a folder or a file for captions. You're going to create a folder or a file for images, and you're going to create a folder or a file for your strategy, right? So 3 folders. So create some sort of social media content folder, and then within that, you want to be able to save captions, save images, and save strategy. If you've never used bookmarks before, bookmarks are super cool. All of these things are folders that I have at the top here, which organize my data, right? So I can go ahead and I can save things to these folders too, which allow me to reference them easily. For example, I have a social media folder. So I'll talk about how to get to bookmarks in a second. That's a classic Martine moment where I went sidetracked. And in here, if I find a page or something that I like, I can just save it to this bookmark folder, and I know that I've got this reference of things in here. So this is training, recipes, this is a Robert and Martine folder, it's my personal, these are my client folders, okay? Admins and Google Drives. So all of these things allow me to reference information simply and easy, and I keep everything stored in one place, especially if you're like me and you have a lot of open tabs. I don't want you to see my screen because I have way too many tabs open. To create a bookmark folder, if you're using Google Chrome, if you're using Chrome, just click on this 3 arrows on the top right, and you'll see here there's an opportunity to create bookmarks. Go to your bookmarks manager, And then you'll be able to create these folders at the top here. I'm not going to do that for you now, but this is how you create these folders, right? And these are really handy. So if you're, say, searching for, I don't know, captions, or you're looking for references or articles or anything like that, these folders are really cool. And all you would do is press star, and it's going to ask you, what folder do I want this to save to? And these are all my different folders here. So a really great way for you to organize content when you're starting to search. And one of the things that I'd like you to commit to is spending 10 or 15 minutes a day searching for things and references that you can use as inspiration, right? And you're going to drop them into your folders. So task number 1 is create some sort of structure for you to store information so that it's easy to use. Super important. All right. I think task number 2, we talked about creating or using a software tool. I tend to use Later. I've given you, oh my God, I've given you a link for Later. Let me just open that up for a second. I'll stop sharing and hopefully that'll do it. I use Later, but I also use Hootsuite. I've given you links to both. Both are excellent channels. So these tools are the 2 that I use and I can guide you through, but there are others. There's HubSpot, there's like a bunch of others, but I don't know them very well. So I'm not going to refer them, right? But the reason why I think these 2 are great is, first of all, they have free accounts, so it's not going to cost you anything, so massive win. And the second of all, they're very easy to use, right? If you are savvy in the space of social media, a little bit more savvy or a little bit more like down the track, just further along the path, maybe you're going to prefer to use Hootsuite because the analytics in Hootsuite are a little bit more robust. So let me show you behind the scenes in Later. Let's just go back to the calendar here. Yeah, so here, oh my goodness. See, not perfect. I love it. Okay, and here you can see one of my client accounts. This is her Later account. This is the scheduling software. So in here you have the calendar, the media library, you get to see the analytics, you can search by hashtag, you can have a really good play in here, you can upload media. So this is Jodie's account. And I've shared a little bit of Jodie's work because I love her work and it's actually probably quite topical for you guys. So when we share Jodie's work, we upload her media to this media library here. And then we also upload the 2 channels we have available for her on this site, her Facebook and her Instagram. I'll just close off her Facebook for a moment. What you can see in this space is we can see her feed over the course of a month or a week, but we can actually see how it's all been scheduled out. So you can see what it looks like in her feed. You can move things around. This is what you're going to get, right? At the end of this, you're going to have one of these. How exciting, right? So for those of us who are very visual, I love this platform. I would go ahead, create a free Later account and go to the tutorials. It'll walk you through the steps to getting started and link your Facebook and your Instagram if you feel drawn to using Later. Okay. In here, it has a lot of analytics, so you can see what's going on in the feed. You can see her audiences, her post performances, all of that kind of stuff, which is really cool. You can also search for media in here, so you can search by a hashtag. So let's say we want business coach, which is here. You can see everyone who's posted something in the past 24 hours as a business coach has got this stuff. Now, her feed is yellow. Let's see if I can see anything that I really like. I don't love anything in here, but for example, I'm going to pick this one. So let's say I want to use this. It's German, doesn't matter. I can add it to my library. And when I add it to my library, what it's going to do is it's going to remember who I've saved this from, right? And so now if I go back to her media library, you're going to see this new addition to her library when it shows up, right? So this is all her existing media. And this one is a reposted media that will eventually load up. Okay, you get the idea. You don't need to worry about any of that right now. Just open a Later account if you feel drawn to Later, or Hootsuite is the other one. So Hootsuite has much more robust analytics. You can schedule posts from here into all platforms. So LinkedIn, Pinterest. This is one of my client accounts. So you can see here we've got her Instagram, we've got her, we don't actually have all of her stuff in here, but we have her LinkedIn as well as her Facebook, right? So lots of opportunities in here. So I would go ahead and just familiarize yourself with these 2 platforms and see which one you feel most compelled to use. I'll just check if there's anything you need to know from me in here. Open it all up. Okay. All right, seems like you're all going well. The next thing that I've asked you to set up is a Pinterest account. I love Pinterest for inspiration, for brand inspiration. This is my Pinterest account. You can see all of my clients are in here. All of my clients' image inspiration is in here. So it's really easy to set up a board, set up a Pinterest account, and start to save pins. So to set up a board, you just press create board, and we're going to go ahead and create this content that connects board. Right, we're going ahead and create it. Right, it'll just give me a blank space, and then it's going to say, hey, what do you want to save to your board? And I know I don't like any of those, so done, and I'll start to search, right? So now I'm going to search about social media. Yeah, and then we can add whatever pins to our particular board. Oh my God, so many things. Oh, so let's look at this one. So if we save it, we can press save, and we can just add save to our board. So content that connects. And it's all done, like super, super easy, right? So I'd go ahead and start to create a couple of inspiration boards, potentially one for each product or even one for each one of your values. Again, don't get too stuck right now. If you just want to have a play with it, obviously go ahead and be my guest. The idea is just to get set up. What's the word I'm looking for? Disclaimer, Pinterest is a wormhole. Even people, I've had guys that have worked for me, and I like set up a vision board in your Pinterest. They're like, I hate Pinterest. Pinterest is actually like 81% female, right? I hate Pinterest. I'm like, go search for tattoo designs or something. I don't care. And all of a sudden, like 3 hours later, he's like, I love Pinterest. So be warned, this is like a huge wormhole that you can find yourself going through. The idea is not to create the wormhole. It's about giving yourself the space to be able to start to save things. This is all this is, having the tools. So you've got a place to collect information, you've got your storage center, and now a couple of options for a scheduler, and also Pinterest, which is sort of sitting here. The next thing I want you to think about is making sure that your accounts are set up for business. So a lot of people I speak to only use their personal social media account, and that's okay, right? It totally is okay to use your personal social media account. Here is mine, it's Jenna there, but it's super, super important that you have your business account set up here. So if I go to my page, these are all the pages that I work with. There's a few, just ignore them. But it's super important that you have your page set up, which is not your personal account. And these analytics are really important for you because they're going to give you an idea on the kind of content that people like. So you can have a look at what's sitting behind them, the insights, the publishing tools. Information is knowledge, right? So I can go ahead and see, hey, what's been happening on my page? I love it when it's all green. It means that green is growth. And okay, I lost someone, but hey, such is life. But what's been going on? How's my post reach been going? My post engagement's not that great. Bummer. But what's been going on in my page, and I can actually start to see what's been happening. I can see my posts that are doing the best, and I can see the posts that are not going so well. This is really helpful. I can see what time people are online. I can see what day of the week people are online. All of this stuff really lets us know what's working with our audience. Okay, so we're going to just get rid of that for us. So make sure that you have, that you have a page like this that gives you these insights. So it'll have your ad center, your inbox, all of this stuff. If you haven't already set up your Facebook Business Manager and your intention is to build your community so that you can market a business, I highly recommend that you use Facebook Business Manager. So in here, Facebook Business Manager has a black bar as opposed to a blue bar, right? So if you think blue bar, personal, black bar, business. Black for business, blue for like blessings or whatever that is, right? So when you're looking at your accounts through your business manager, again, you're going to have far more robust, word of the week for me, analytics, but also you're going to be able to see and be able to do much more from this space, right? So my intention is not to give you the full Facebook Business Manager tutorial. I'm just going to direct you to a page. So in here we go, my team. And what that looks like when I view the page from my Business Manager is I have the same sort of analytics, but I have much more information down the side here, and I still have the same here. So remember, it was the blue bar with these notifications, but when I do it from Business Manager, I have far more insight into what I'm doing. And that's really important for me when I'm working out what message is going to land. I think this was a really cool post. My customers didn't like it. And so you're able to really navigate what's working and what's not working. And that's really part of it, right? Content that connects is about actually writing content that people like. And so sometimes what we think we're doing versus what people are connecting to are very different. And you've got to be able to measure if that works. So get this stuff. Get your Business Manager set up, right? Get yourself done on a page. A personal page is super important. It's super important for you to show up there. But I don't want to market to my friends all the time. I don't want to market to my family all the time, right? And I know that you don't either. So while it's important for people to know who you are, whenever you're marketing or you're sharing about your business, bring that back to the business page. Facebook will reward you, but so will your friends, right? You're not that person who's marketing all the time from your personal page, because that doesn't feel so great for a lot of people. Okay. And then the same with your Instagram. So with your Instagram, it's really important that you have your Instagram set up for business, as a business profile as opposed to a personal profile, so that when you're putting together all your content and your posts, you're able to navigate between the two and share between the two. And again, Facebook owns both of them, right? So it's going to love that you're doing both the things, which is super important. I'm just going to try and see if I can find where we are. If there's anything I need to like comment on in the group. I see some, I don't see others, right? So this is just an opportunity for me to take a quick break and just start to ask some questions within the group. What is it that you're looking for within this space, right? Do you have some of these things all set up? And some of you may, and some of you may not, and that's actually okay, right? It's important to make sure that you don't have to be all things to all people. Just find the one person you want to communicate to, because if you try and speak to everyone, we end up speaking to no one, right? So part of this is about getting really clear on who your messaging is for and what it is that you want to say. Yeah. So if your business page says that you don't have a business, if Business Manager says that you don't have a business page set up, that's okay. Just link your existing page. If you don't know if you have a business page or not, have a look at the top blue bar like I showed you in the feed. Does it have all of those things? If your page has all the analytics that I shared, then you need to add your page to your Business Manager. It doesn't automatically link up. Okay, if anyone needs help with Business Manager, I'll actually create a separate training on it so that we don't get super lost by it all, because Facebook, it's like its own country, has a separate language. I got on a call with a couple of friends earlier on and they're like, oh my God, you speak Facebook? I'm like, yes, it's its own language. It's super crazy, right? You're totally right, Angela. You can't be everything to everyone, but you can totally be something to someone. No, Deborah, Instagram Business does not have a black bar. You'll have to go into the settings and it'll ask you if you want to upgrade or use it for business. It's very, very simple. And then from there, you'll be able to see whether your Instagram account is a business account or not. Generally, if you have, you'll have different functions on an Instagram business account. And from a business account, you should be able to link it to your Facebook. So that's how you'll know. Yeah, good questions, everyone. The yes, please is yes, please about Facebook marketing. Yes, Facebook help. Okay, how do I Facebook ads? Okay, I hear you. Facebook ads is a whole different wormhole. And I think what we'll do is we will talk Facebook ads, but we've got to get the messaging right first, okay? It's super, super important. So we can touch on that at the end, but you've got to be clear on your one, clear on who you're speaking to, clear on your values, clear on the content that really you want to be sharing with the world. Because Facebook messaging, 100% is audience and messaging. That's it. Facebook marketing, audience, and messaging. If you get those two right, you can do Facebook marketing. Don't get those two wrong, and you'll just like spend a lot of money. And I don't believe you need to do that, right? One of my clients loved that I said that I'm like, oh my God, this ad is costing you like $1.50. And she's like, oh my God. I'm like, yeah, it's too expensive. Turn it off. She's like, really? About the $1.50? I'm like, yeah, because it just shows me that the ad's not feeding out. And that's not what we want to do. Yes. What was, I saw a question. How do I get to the Facebook Business Manager? Great question. business.facebook.com. So www.business.facebook.com is how you set up your Facebook Business Manager page. Yes. Who's laughing? I'll have to go back. I can only see certain things at certain times, right? Cool. All right. Is it easy to convert? Yes, super easy. I'll do a little screen share and I'll set it up in here. So that should be very easy for everyone. Let me just do a quick check. So how are you guys feeling about setting up like your folders to share all your information? Is everyone feeling okay with that? Just pop me a yes or a Y or a thumbs up or a smiley face, something that lets me know that you're okay with that. That's cool. Yep. That's the first thing. How's everyone feeling about Pinterest? Again, wormhole potentially, but that's all right. You got it. Great. Thanks. Awesome. Awesome. Yep. Perfect. No, baby. No, Cody, you're all good. If you change the reach, actually, you'll have it'll be different, but I think it's really important. It won't change who you're sending your message out to. So yeah, really good question. Yep. Awesome. Hey, Brad, great to see you here. Folders. It'll be a fun task. Depends on your personality type. Those people who are always creating lists to create lists, you're going to love creating folders, right? And the other people are like, oh my God, why are you doing this to me? Just make it user-friendly, right? What I don't want is for you to have a whole lot of open tabs, aka myself, that you can't find your shit in, because that's not okay, right? Just put a place, find a place to do stuff, right? Pinterest, wormhole, yes, it's great. Yeah, Pinterest is new and exciting. And look, when we get to images, I'm going to like download a whole lot of stuff about image libraries, but start with Pinterest, right? It's going to keep you entertained for the next few days, but not distracted that you're not going to get all the other things done. All right. Any questions around a scheduler? Is there anyone who is already, hey, Beck, is there anyone who's already using a scheduler? Yeah. Okay. If you're highly visual and you love just making things look pretty and you want it to be easy, later is your thing, right? Now, Hootsuite is also very easy to use, but it's less visual. So if your first instinct is to go, how does that look? Then go to later. If your first instinct is, how does that work? Maybe go to Hootsuite. That's how I would, differentiate it, because later will show you the overview, but Hootsuite will show you the analytics, and it's quite a different sort of viewpoint. But why do you have to use Pinterest? You've got Acuity here. I don't know about Tailwind, actually. Yeah, Acuity is great for scheduling, which is awesome. You do need to connect both of well, from any scheduler, you'll need to connect your accounts to them. But once you connect your accounts to them, you'll be able to choose where you want to send your posts to. Yeah, so it's super easy. Yeah, I'm not familiar with Tailwind, so there you go. Like I said, I can only talk about the things that I know about. Yeah, and then the others, I don't know everything, right? I'm on the journey with you, right? I may be a couple of steps further. Some things you guys are going to be a couple of steps further than I am. That's the beauty of this collaboration in this group, right? And my intention for the group is to foster this as and I think I've mentioned it, as a bolster group, where we start to bolster each other's social, because that's where you get the exponential growth. So we get set up, we get sharing, we get connected, and then we use this as a network to grow. Yeah, great question, Cody. So if you schedule them at the head, what happens with your inspiration as you get it? That's what stories are for, right? So I always schedule my content in advance, but if I want to share something that happens like on the fly or on the go, that's where my stories come into it. So you get the real time, real moment things, and stories are super important these days. Why do I use both Later and Hootsuite for clients? One client likes Hootsuite more because of the analytics. Most of my clients don't care about the analytics, they just care about the pretty. So that's why I use them both. Good questions. Yeah, actually, Sunny, audience time is a great question, and it really depends on your audience. So as you start to look at what's going on in your feed, you'll be able to see when people are posting. You'll be able to see when people are online. Use that analytics that I shared with you in the insights for Facebook to be able to understand when the best time is to post. Yeah, that's why we get the analytics, so we can work out when people are online, this post. And for some of my clients, I'm posting morning and night, right? And you think that the nighttime posts are going to work. It's like most people share at night, but at the moment, with everything that's going on in the world, we're not getting that so much, right? So good questions. Yeah, now I know about the story thing, right? So the story is what's happening in the moment. I love it. Great stuff. Yes, they both worked with LinkedIn, but if you want to work with LinkedIn, I would recommend Hootsuite. I think it's more robust. There's the word. And I use the word on purpose because that's how it was described to me. Yeah, perfect. Yeah, check your analytics as part of your homework. Perfect, perfect. So what we're going to do, Darlene, is we're going to share how to set up the posts so that it will post it automatically. So once you set up, my intention for you is for you to be able to schedule a month's worth of social media in less than 30 minutes. 30 days in 30 minutes or your money back. Right? 30 days in 30 minutes or your money back. That's the intention. So you can set and forget. Now, you can't really set and forget because that's like a bad catchphrase, because you've got to do the engagement piece. But what it does is it takes the headache out of, oh my God, what do I post? I don't know what to write, because you've already got that. So then all you're doing is you're triggering engagement and you're creating interest in what you've posted. Awesome. Okay, awesome. Do you say Instagram under personal name? Good question. It depends. Everything depends on you. I wholeheartedly believe. So the question was, do you set up your Instagram and your personal name or your business name? It's a whole branding conversation, right? So I wholeheartedly believe that people do business with people. In today's world, people want to connect with real people. Rarely do we want to connect with a brand that has some like faceless thing that sits behind it, right? Even Facebook has a Mark Zuckerberg that sits behind it. We put a face to it. So I believe that setting up your personal brand is super, super important, because it's like this holy trinity of a triad of brands. When you have a personal brand and you have this connection piece, you know, your values, we're going to go through all of this stuff in the course, then you can say, hey, this is my company and it links back to you. This is the product I'm promoting, it links back to you. These are the services that I'm promoting, that links back to you. You will always be you. Now, your company may change, your products may change, your services may change, but you will always be you. And I think this eliminates the change that comes up in the world, because they're like, oh, that was my business and now I'm not doing that anymore. I'm like, yeah, cool, but you're still you. So I think set it up in your personal brand, particularly if you're in a service-based business. So if you're a coach, a consultant, an educator, a course creator, anything in that space, I think use your name. And it's taken me a long time to get a lot of my clients. They would resist and we'd build company brands for them. And then they come back and say, oh, I get it. Now you have to do my personal brand. I'm like, okay, we have to do that. So yeah, great question. Can we discuss YouTube? Susie, we can discuss YouTube, but it's not really part of the bigger picture, but yeah, we can touch on it. I'm going to touch on all the platforms. I can't remember what day, but one day I should have all of that. I'll send you the itinerary. Oh, I sent you the itinerary in the units thing. So one day, I don't know what day, one day in the next 10 days, I'm going to talk about all of the platforms and the benefits of them. Susie, for you, YouTube is so dang important, and it really is such a powerful channel. I was looking at statistics today, 4 billion monthly users on YouTube. So super, super important platform. When we're talking about scheduling posts and things, because this is about scheduling content that connects, it's about understanding what is your content, what format is your content in, and then what's the best platform for it? So yeah, good questions. Yeah, great, Bianca. Moved away from your names. Perfect question. And does the potential client understand on Facebook if I'm using a regular page or a business page? It depends if you're sending them ads. Most of the time, not. Like, I have a personal page and a business page, and the only reason you can tell the difference is one has my full, really long name, and the other one has my shortened name. You won't know if I'm sending you things from my personal page or my business page. Go check it out, right? So have a look at Martine Van Stein versus Martine Romain Van Stein. And so if you're sharing content, you won't know if it's from one or the other, right? So your customer won't know. But what's really important is as you start to think about paid campaigns, using your business page is going to give you much more credibility than just using your personal page. So super important. Awesome. There's a lot of cool questions going on through here. I just love it. What did I want to also speak to you guys about today? Make sure that you pop in your commitment, right? And the commitment is, what do you want to get out of this time, right? So whether someone said, I'm going to commit 2 hours, I don't mind what the time commitment is. The commitment is just that you're going to be here, you're going to get this thing that you came here for. The worst thing I can do is say, yep, turn up, and then not deliver on my promise to get your content up there and out into the world. So vice versa, the worst thing you can do is say, I'm going to do this thing, and then actually not turn up, right? The commitment's not super long, 30 minutes, 60 minutes a day, whatever that looks like for you, whatever you can manage, right? If 60 minutes sounds like a schlep, don't do 60 minutes. Turn up for the call, listen to the replay, whatever that looks like for you. But what I can say to you is this: start to spend some time on your social channels and understand where your people are playing. If that's 10 minutes in the morning or 10 minutes during the day, maybe it's the time when you're like on the bus, or I don't know, whatever that time is, and start to really look at what's going on in the world and start to save content. Yeah, start to save what's going on in the marketplace into these folders or into these spaces, so that you start to build a knowledge of and an awareness of what's happening in your space. Research your competitors, research people who are doing what you're doing. Holly Ann, I don't think anyone is doing what you're doing. You are amazing. But there are people who have shared and aligned messages to you. So find out how they're getting their message out. You know, there's a beautiful woman I work with. Her name is Nicole Gibson. And she's had a similar mission, not the same sort of outcome, but a similar mission about, you know, traveling to remote locations and really helping people in different spaces. So make sure you know who's speaking your language and who's actually doing the things that you want to do, and start to just pay attention to what they're up to, right? Awesome. Just quickly check the questions. Yes, I can talk about repurposing, no problem at all. I would figure out what's going on your social media and then bring it back to your site, rather than the other way around, because you can see more robust, there's a word, I'm going to find a new word tomorrow. You can find out what the analytics look like in your social media and then drive people back to your website, but it's also more instant. Driving people to your website takes time and traffic. It doesn't matter if you don't have many followers, huh? Doesn't matter what you have or haven't got. This is about starting where you're at. And, you know, it's just about starting where you're at and doing what you can to get to where you want to be, right? We all started somewhere. You know, I've just started a new page for one of my clients. She started with 0. She's got 400 followers on her Facebook page now. So start with where you're at with what you have. It's, you know, the only place you can go is forward. So don't worry about the numbers. There's a lot of people who buy numbers. You know, I talk metrics, but sometimes, surprise, surprise, people lie. And the numbers aren't even real. So if you're saying, hey, this person's got 3,000 followers or this person's got 30,000 followers, you know, the way you understand if that's effective is to have a look at the engagement. And I'd much rather 100 engaged followers than 10,000 followers who aren't engaged. And so it's not about the volume, it's about the quality, right? So don't get fixated on a number. It's okay. All right. Let me see. How do you grow Facebook followers? With great content. This is why you're here. Good question. Epic stuff. I love it. So task, and this is what I need you to do under the post, is just complete the task and let me know that you've done unit 1, completed task. Yep, you're done. You've got your folders set up. You've got your business pages set up. You've looked at some schedulers. Even if you're not sure which one, you have an awareness of what they are and which one you might want to lean towards. You have a Pinterest account. Tick, tick, tick. This is awesome. And start to spend some time saving some content. 10 minutes a day. That's all it is. All right. So tomorrow we're going to talk about your values. This is so cool because we're actually going to go out there and find out what are the content pillars that you can start to create content from. And so there's a difference between just splatting information out to the world and actually using your values to create tactics and content that really connects with your market. So tomorrow's a super cool day. Get ready for it. You'll get the email in the morning and start to really consider what that looks like. And I look forward to seeing everyone in the call. Yeah, I look forward to seeing everyone in the call tomorrow. Keep dropping me questions. Remember to tag the units because otherwise I'll just get lost in the sea of questions. So pop everything under the post, pop everything in the unit so we can keep everything nice and tidy and I can actually follow the thread simply. So if there's no other questions, yeah, you just have to ask them, Jenny. Ask them to come over. Yeah. Yeah, maybe it's a landing page. I'd have to have a look. Start with the business page and then add the group to the business page. Yeah. I think you need both, Ms. Dream. You need a Facebook business page and a group. And you can get way more engagement with a group, but you should also have a business page. Donna, see, it doesn't matter if your business is not real. Set up a Facebook business page as Donna. Yeah. Yeah, you can set up a business page and start to, you don't have to drive traffic to it, right? You set up a business page, put some content in it, and then when you're ready, do the big reveal. So cool. Awesome, awesome. I love you guys. It's so great to see you here. Thank you for showing up with your time. I know time is a precious commodity today. Thank you for your precious gift of attention. I so appreciate it. And I look forward to seeing you guys tomorrow. Value Day. So cool. Can't wait. See you.